In this workspace, there are two feature definitions set up to model guardrail three-dimensionally. They are guardrail type A right and left, and those are located on this particular workspace in the safety and structures category. And so we're going to be using guardrail type A right. Make sure that you activate these two icons. This is to automatically create 3D, and this is to automatically process the template assigned to the feature, which is going to be the railing of the guardrail. And then lastly, make sure that you have the active feature definition toggle enabled, so those three icons. So the first demonstration I'm going to do is to just offset a section of the shoulder line on this particular alignment to show that command. And so we'll come over to our horizontal geometry task and hold down on this icon and select single offset partial. And I'm going to locate the element that I want to place the guardrail along. And then I can use my arrow keys and select start distance. And if it's locked, you can hit the end key if you wish to make those changes and adjust it. And the same thing with the offset. So let's say that I want to use my arrow key and my start distance, and you can see how this is running along. I'm going to set my start distance to be at 9 plus 75 and hit enter. And then I want my offset to be 0.5 from the edge of shoulder. And so we'll move the mouse and allow that to set. And then we will use our left mouse click to accept that position. Now I'm going to hit my end key to unlock, or Alt, either one. And I'm going to now key in a new station. Let's say I want to run it to 11 plus 00. So I'll set enter to that and accept. And then that will go ahead and model the guardrail on that particular location. And I will select no to mirror. And so now if we look over in our 3D model, you'll see that that particular guardrail has been placed. And I can pan around if I want to see that in my model, so you can see how that guardrail looks. I'm going to do an undo on that, and what we're going to do now is to come and show how we can use a different command to go all the way around this. So again, with our feature set, instead of using the single offset partial, which we did before, I'm going to come down and select the arc between elements command. And this is useful if we have different elements that we're trying to offset. And so I'm going to pick my first element, which is here, and I'm going to select a back offset of 0.5 from the edge of shoulder. And then I'm going to pick my second offset that I want to, or a second element I want to offset up here. And I'm going to click in 0.5 up there as well. And then for my radius, I'm going to be basically 105.5, or 6 inches short of the shoulder, and I'll accept that. And what this is going to do then is model the guardrail smoothly, where you don't have stops and starts gaps in your post, and so your post will be evenly spaced from the beginning to the end. Now, the one thing that you might have to encounter or deal with at some point is, depending on where you stopped, you may have a section of guardrail hanging over the end of the last post, so you might have to adjust that. And that's very easy to do. You simply come into your your actual placement here, and you can at any point, let's say that you wanted to adjust that ending taper to 55, and I'm just using a number here just to show, so you can see that random change. So you put that number in there, and so you can see how that actually caused it to be a problem. So you would want to end that likely, on an even location, so that you don't get that extra guardrail hanging. So that's how you can place a guardrail. The trick or the key is to make sure that you have your feature selected, guardrail type A right or left. And right just means right side of road, left is left side of road. And then make sure you have all three icons enabled. And what this will do is it'll use the profile associated with the shoulder, which comes from our template in our corridor. So that profile is given to us, and it uses that profile and assigns that then to the guardrail appropriately. And I set an offset of 6 inches just to give it a little bit of a buffer from the edge of shoulder. And so essentially creating that geometry with those icons on will automatically assign it a profile, and the appropriate three-dimensional custom line style and run a template along that particular alignment.